You gave a presentation at CRESTCon 2012 around penetration testing and SAP. This is a growing area as companies are being forced to look more at how those type of systems are governed and whether they have sufficient levels of security. What are the main things that companies have to do when it comes to assessing SAP installations?
Any practitioner that's skilled in network or application assessments is usually going to have the skills necessary to audit these systems from a technical perspective. But what they need to be aware of specifically is the availability requirements of these SAP systems. They're financial systems, businesses rely on them, so you've got to be very precarious about the testing that you execute. Typically, there's a landscape configuration of QA, dev, and production environments. If you can work with that organisation to get access to the development environment or the QA environment, so it's as close a match to the live environment as possible, then you can translate your findings through to the live environment without necessarily putting that environment of any danger of denial of service or availability, and hopefully give the organisation that's contracting you a little bit of confidence that you're really thinking about their interests.
Are more people interested in attacking SAP type systems?
Well, like I said, it's a financial system. If you can penetrate it from a nefarious person's perspective, then there's massive financial rewards. Everyone talks about APT and exfiltration of data, but if you can get into the heart of a system and reconfigure it, put in a back door that's going to siphon out finances, then that's highly profitable. So yeah, it's a big target.
You said also in your presentation at CRESTCon, though, that there are some vulnerabilities that are coming into play here because these systems are more connected to the outside world than they used to be, whether that's for internet access or presenting the data that they generate to people working on mobile devices.
There's been a big push by SAP to release web-enabled technologies that present consumable data from the SAP system, which is either presented to them in a traditional web application form or allows in-house dev teams to create their own applications to consume that data. And the fact that these endpoints are exposed either via the internet or to internal networks opens up to a wider attack surface and a bigger attack community.
Do you think that the IT community that governs and manages SAP systems has responded?
At the moment they are. We're seeing an increased demand in requests for auditors to come and look from a technical perspective, not a sort of separation of duty or audit type compliance requirements. So yes, now these systems are being brought into more line from things like PCI audits or just normal government requirements. Then the IT departments are bringing them in line with their IT security audit budgets.
Is there a particular approach a penetration tester needs to take when they're dealing not just with SAP systems themselves, but also the people who run them?
It wouldn't even be SAP specific. Whenever you're delivering an engagement, then you're always going to get more out of the client and have a better working relationship if you can sit down with them and really understand how their business operates and how they rely on, as SAP as a specific example, how they're utilising the SAP modules that they have to run their business, whether it be HR, payroll, procurement, etc. Knowing full well that once you find any issues, you can directly translate those back to realistic attack scenarios that helps management prioritise how they fix those based on their revenue streams and how to protect them.
And do you think there is a danger to organisations if they don't do this type of testing?
With any system at the moment, there's a real danger that if these things go unchecked, then someone's going to compromise them. With a normal IT system, it's going to be data exfiltration or command and control or botnets, etc. With a SAP system, it's typically going to be financial fraud. And really, businesses in this current economic climate can't afford to have someone in their system siphoning out cash.
So it's not a problem you can afford to ignore?
Absolutely.
Dave Hartley, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.